All right, so today we're gonna make our own slides. We're gonna make two kinds of slides. We're gonna make two kinds of wet mount slides. We're gonna make one using a plant and one using our own cells. So let's get started. So materials you'll need, obviously you'll need a piece of plant. So this is just a leaf. I'm gonna give you a piece of a live leaf or liver than that. You'll also need a slide, and there's two kinds of slides. I'm not really sure which one I'll give you. I might give you a plastic slide. If you get a plastic slide, what you're gonna have to do is, let me see if the camera can show you this. You're gonna have to peel, there's like some cellophane coating here. You're gonna have to peel that off. So if you get a plastic slide, look for the coating that's on top of it and just peel that right off to make it a little bit clearer. Plastic slides are nice because you can just throw the whole entire thing away and you don't get the stuff cut to your finger. Yeah. But the glass slides are a little bit more clear and less hard to deal with. But anyway, I might give you a plastic slide and I might give you a glass slide. So if you get a glass slide, you'll be able to tell the difference in person. And it's better to work with. The only problem with the glass slide is you're gonna have to clean this off and you're gonna have to return it to me. Okay, so to make the plant slide, oh, and the other thing you need a cover slip. So the cover slips are plastic and they're in this little box. They can be thrown away when you're done. Now, when you get it out of the box, you're gonna see that they look kind of white. They have like a little white tissue paper on that. Well, you don't need the tissue paper, all right? Don't try to look through the tissue paper in the microscope. You're not gonna see very much. So take this tissue paper and throw it out. So all you want is this little thin square plastic cover slip. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your slide and you're going to set it down. You see that? I don't know if you can see that. But you're gonna set it down, and then what you want also, you need a water drop bottle. So you're going to squeeze a little bit, make some bubbles happen. Pull this out. And just one little drop of water right in the center of your slide. Boop. Right on top of that. Now what you can do is you could have put your plant down on the slide first and then put the water on top, or you can do it backwards, which is what I did. But the point of doing the wet mount for the plant is that it's going to hold the water, the adhesion of the water, it's going to hold the cover slip in place. So I'm going to put that in there, and then to put on the cover slip, I lost it. They're hard to see because they're clear. To put on the cover slip, what you don't want to do, you don't want to put it flat down on it, all right? Don't do that. What you actually want to do is you want to hold it kind of at a 45-degree angle. You see that? It's better. Hold it at a 45-degree angle so that one edge is touching the actual slide. And then, can I tip this? And then just release, let it go. Let it go down on its own. All right, and voila. Now, this piece of plant that I have is a little bit thick, so it doesn't look perfectly straight. But the water should keep it on relatively well. Don't do this, but you can see that the cover slip is not falling off. So we're going to look at it on the microscope, and you're going to observe it in scanning power, low power, and high power, and make your drawings as such. All right. Make sure that you're doing all your work over a paper towel. Now, after you're done with this, what you're going to do is you're going to take the paper towel and remove the cover slip with the paper towel and just dry that off a little bit, okay? And this can get thrown out. So your plant material and your cover slip can go in the garbage. Now you're going to get a new cover slip. Again, remove the tissue paper off of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at our own skin cells. So to do that, you're going to take a piece of tape, and before we do the tape, what you want to do is, and this is going to be really tricky, because depending on people's skin, some people have thicker skin than others, you might not be able to get your cells, but we're going to take cells from our skin from our wrist, All right, so what I want you to do is just lightly scratch your wrist area. Now, don't scratch too hard. We don't want you drawing any blood or anything. Just little tickle scratches almost. And also, if you scratch too hard, you could damage the cells, and you might see cells, but they're going to be all squashed. But that'll probably happen anyway. So I'm going to rip off a piece of tape. Again, try not to get very many fingerprints on that. And then just put the tape on. Get it on there, and peel. Now when you see the tape, it's going to be not very clear anymore. It's actually going to have arm cells all over it, but I hope. But anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to place this onto the slide first. All right, it's important that we do this first. Sticky side up. Getting that on there and not getting it stuck to your fingers might be a little trick for you. But make sure it's sticky side up. I don't want this stuck to the glass. All right, now, your cells are actually going to be very, very difficult for you to see because they're going to appear clear. So what we're going to do is we're going to stain it. This solution is called methylene blue solution. It's a staining solution. It might look purple to you, but it's actually bluish. And do the same thing now. Be really, really, really careful with this stuff. This will stain. It will stain your clothes. I wouldn't recommend wearing your best clothing on this particular day that we're doing this. So roll those sleeves up. Keep this like away from you and away from your body. But you're going to do the exact same thing. So think of your water as like your practice run. But this time we're going to take the methylene blue, make sure you get some in there. I might dab the inside here. And now you shouldn't be lifting it. You should be doing it right on top of your paper towel on the table. I'm going to lift it so you can see it a little bit better. Just apply one drop right onto the piece of tape. All right. And you can kind of see that. And do the same thing now. Tighten this up. Put this back. I mean, if the people at your table are done with it, you can take it back up to the front. But the last thing we need is we don't need this thing spilling all over the place. All right? So make sure you put this back where it belongs. Put that on there. Take your new cover slip. Do the same thing. 45-degree angle. Let the one edge touch. And then just drop it on. Now, it might not go perfectly on there. Just try not to get any of this methylene blue stuff on your fingers, because if you do, here you can kind of see that. If you do, you don't want that going into your mouth. Okay, it's mildly poisonous. I mean, you won't get sick or anything. But if you chug this whole bottle, which don't do that, then you'll probably get sick. But try not to get it on your fingers. If you do, not a big deal. I get on my fingers all the time. Just wash your hands with soap. All right, do that. Put that on there, and you're good. And look at it in scanning power, low power, high power. What you're looking for is these tiny little circles with a little darker spot at the center. If you see those, you're looking at your cells. That darker spot is called the nucleus. We're going to learn all about that very soon. Well, look how big my hands are. I've been looking at this the whole time. I'm just noticing it now. Whatever. You're looking for the nucleus. That's the dark spot, and you're looking for. It's probably not going to be perfectly circular because you scratch these skin cells and you got them on there. But it's something like a crazy looking shape, ovalish. But those will be your cells. In high power, you should see them obviously bigger. But if you're really good, you might be able to see some of the little cell parts, which we're going to learn about very, very soon. Yeah, draw it as best you can, and especially if you see some of those cell parts, draw those too. And cleaning up, same deal. Again, don't touch this with your fingers. What you're going to do is, if you have a glass slide, you're going to clean this off. If you have a plastic slide, just throw the whole thing out into the garbage. But if you have a glass slide, again, take your paper towel, give it a good wiping. All right, this should go directly into the garbage. This, you're going to hold under the sink. Just turn the sink on first, turn the water on first, run it under there. And then once it's done getting rinsed, you don't have to use soap on the slide. Once it's done getting rinsed, wipe it off with your paper towel and return the glass slide up to me at the front. And that's it. You made wet mounts. You made one with methylene blue, you made one with water, and you're done. Cool. Good job. Bye.